Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at our day one monthly qualifier games, coming up against some really good teams in Totem and Big. You don't want to miss out on this absolutely insane run. I'll be going through every single game, giving you guys my thoughts, and you get to see quite a few epic plays from myself, from Drage, from Tom, as always. So before we get into today's video, make sure you use the create code in the shop. Mine has unfortunately run out, so I'll be putting code SPEN in there. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Alright guys, so going into the first game up against Final Stands, so a really good team that consistently do well in the monthly qualifiers. Definitely going to be a really strong game. Literally all three of the players I know are really talented players. GGem, I've known since the beta days, he's a really good player. We've got another Tom on the enemy team, he's a solid player as well. And Kanan also, I believe, just came back from Asia. I know he's a very strong player as well. So the bans for this one were Bell, Ash and Leon, I think, from our side. So you see, they die early on. This was in the third round, so currently 2-0 at this point. I'll be showing 4 different games today, so it's going to be a long video to prepare to get all the food you need to watch this one. So also, before going into this one, all we need to do to qualify for World Finals, so there's going to be 6 rounds today in total, and then 2 rounds tomorrow. So all we need to do is finish 7 wins and 1 loss, and we will be qualified for Worlds, like, no doubt. So all we need to do is hopefully get 6-0 today. Don't want to really ruin anything just yet, and then tomorrow just need to win 1 game to get the Worlds ticket. So everything at stake here, don't want to lose any games. So you can see here, Gem 4, we actually didn't scrim too much of round 3. We didn't really expect to face off against too good of a team in round 3. So Gem 4, we kind of had the idea that with Bell banned, I think we've watched some ESL, and I can't remember what we actually watched beforehand to kind of see the meta on this, but we saw with like Bell, even with Bell in play, like Max mid is just still super strong on this map, especially if you synergize with like a Tara or a Sandy as well, like the enemy team are doing. So we managed to actually get Countdown there, so I've not really spoke too much about the gameplay so far, but Tom and Drage been doing a really good job. I've just been holding my lane. Drage speeds out to get those gems. I felt like Sandy Rico probably could have pushed a lot harder considering the position I'm in. I'm not really in a position to help here, so I felt like they could have gone a bit more all in, but I suppose we do have the control, so not really the end of the world just to let us get those gems. So at the moment it is 9 gems to our 8, so we kind of need to get some good pressure here. So we're getting a good pinch with Kane and Drage doing an amazing job getting him really low. So now we've got control of center, just what we needed. So I'm just going to push up here as I'm healing, and I'm just going to try and get behind him. So I'm super weak here, but they have to constantly deal with the fact that I'm behind him and can sneak up against him. Drage can do an amazing job to get the 11th gem, and they definitely can't reset in time, so they need to get the kill on Drage. Tom has super, they can't really push that one. I'm going to be able to win that first game, so definitely I didn't really do too much in that game. Definitely more of a Drage and Tom synergy right there. Let's hop into the next game. Alright guys, heading on to the next game. So currently 1-0 in this one. It's best of 3 always for the qualifiers, and so we switched out the Tara for the Sandy just because I remember like Sandy just has a little bit more mid pressure, and Sandy just counter Tara, so I thought we'd just go with the Max and Sandy combination. So I'm getting a really good takedown right there. That's very important for the early pressure. I didn't actually realize he got that kill. I was just so focused on my lane. So GGM already uses a gadget here. I just remember me playing a bit sloppy in the first game of Rico, so really was sweating it this time around, and already got him on the back foot. So Drage and Tom playing really well in the middle, constantly synergizing with each other. So GGM's already used 2 gadgets, which I'm definitely call out and note myself. I've not even had to use one. So like the second he has no gadgets left, I know I can like super him and just get the kill confirmed there. So Tom's doing an amazing job cycling super right there. GGM's going to go towards the middle. He gets taken down by myself, so I haven't even used 1 gadget yet and win my lane, so I'm going to get some good bounces there to heal up. Kanan tries to sneak and take me down, but Drage just always in that middle, controlling, doing an amazing job on that Max. So they actually switch lanes here. I think they're just trying to do something a little bit out of the ordinary. So I actually didn't even know Sandy was one shot of super, unfortunately, which I'm going to be feeding him super, and they get control at a good time. So well, at a good time for them, not really at a good time for us. So I'm going to get stunned there, I'm going to get taken down. So straight away I call the lane swap. I kind of just want a mirror matchup. I know that I can more than likely win my Rico lane. That's not really being big-headed. That's just me being confident in myself, right? I just want to get the mirror matchups, and we should be good to go. And especially pushing out spawn, you really want the mirror as well. So I know I've got 2 gadgets more than GGM, I think. I think it's actually, no, I think I've got 1 at this point. But I know I've got the gadget advantage, so I can definitely win my lane just from gadgets alone. Drage getting pinched there, so we really need like a speed or like a Sandy super to break out of the spawn trap. Gem 4 can definitely be a bit too spawn trappy, so Tom does an amazing job to sneak and take down that Rico. So they do get the 9th gem, but we've got all the control in the middle. Got to be a little bit careful of that Sandy sneaking around though. Drage gets the 8th gem. So I'm going to go and try and push it around here. GGM gets a really nice heal and nearly takes down Drage. Luckily enough, we get that super. I'm just going to try and get as much value as possible with my super there. All pretty low here. That was probably a bad play for myself. I do get taken down, but GGM overextends there. Tom gets the kill on Sandy. So luckily enough, the damage that I dealt, our teammates were able to at least like capitalize on a few of them being weak. They get taken down. Tom cycling his super really well here. I'm just going to try and keep Sandy at bay for as long as possible. Drage just needs to stay in for, I believe, one more gem now, and then that's going to be the countdown completely to us. Vela need to reset it to stop it. So there we go, Drage with that gem. There's just no way that those guys can equal it up in time. So really well played again from Drage, from everyone really. We're able to clutch up and get that set win. Let's hop into the next set. All right, guys, so going into the second set. So Duel and Beetles, again, a map we're not really played too much on, but again, it shouldn't really be an excuse. We did scrim it quite a lot before. I think we got like the map. So basically, like the map pool comes out probably like 4 or 5 days before the qualifiers. So we kind of like focus on the later rounds, probably like from the 4th round, 5th round upwards, really, just so we get. That's normally when like the starter games are, but anyway, we know that the Byron and Stu combination is just broken. I think we've seen this again in ESL Mobile literally yesterday, of quite a few teams going with like a healer and Stu, and in scrims as well, been scouting quite a few people, and it just seems like such a good combo. Stu's not really in their best spot right now in competitive, but definitely on this map, if you got a healer and just Stu just dashing around constantly healing, it's going to be really hard to kill him. So I'd take down a Byron right there, Drage popping it off on the Stu, and yeah, looking really good. So I'm not too sure why they picked Squeak. I know Squeak is fairly decent, but against any sort of aggro, Squeak just doesn't do too well against. So especially on a map like Duel and Beetles, it can be really hard to consistently win your lane. So Drage, Tom doing a really good job of keeping the Squeak back. That's a really good super that we get like 2 of us connected, but we really need to, especially once we get that Squeak super to connect and get slowed, we really need to like capitalize on it and try and get some takedowns. So Drage gonna go in ham there. They finally got control after a long time. I tried to get the splash on myself and the Byron. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do just that. Maybe I should have just splashed myself. I'm not too sure. Probably should have just got close to him and splashed him myself as well. But we're only for like 14% left, so I know once I just get a few taps onto Drage, he just should be able to just keep dashing up just like he is and secure the win. So Drage about to go down here, got malaised, so it's really hard to actually heal him the right amount, but we're able to take home that game right there. So just one more win away from securing this round. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, so jumping into potentially the final game right here. So we actually switched the combo, went for a double healer and a Stu strategy. I think Tom said, well, I both pointed it out. Tom was playing it in Power League quite a lot, he said, a few times on Duel and Beetles, and he said it was really, really strong. Like, it was near enough unkillable. So, trying it out for herself, went for the triple healer. So, we're facing off against a Sprout. So, you would say that this is actually a good combo to face off against. Unfortunately, Sprout does trap out Tom. So, this is where it can get really toxic with Sprout. Like, on paper, on most maps, like a Poco comp or like any sort of aggro comp should really be able to deal with a Sprout, but on this map it is pretty hard, right? You block off the middle and it can be really easy just to funnel people onto different lanes and take them down pretty easily. So unfortunately the Sprout, well, he actually misses that wall there, but it's just kind of hard for us to get into place to really do too much. I'm getting tapped up quite a bit here. Drage gets a kill there, but again the Sprout with the wall just making it really, really hard for us to like synergize together. We really need to be like together all in unison to make this combination work. So we finally push up here, but Byron gets some really good taps. Do get the takedown on the Poco as well, and yeah, we're all down. So this is looking really, really bad. You know, in this moment, more than likely it is looking like probably like a 90% chance we'll lose this game, just because of how much control they've got and how hard it is, especially to break out of a spawn trap in Duel and Beetles if you don't have a wall break. So Dredge using the other gadgets, so I haven't got any type of wall break. So look, they've got 73%, 75% working their way towards. It's getting really dangerous here, so we really need to break out. So Drage pops off here, gets a lot of time. He's going to go into the Byron's face, take the Byron down. So really well played from him. Gets taken down, unfortunately, but Tom doing a really good job of staying alive here. I felt like Stu didn't really need to dash into the Poco's face. He should have probably just tried to stay alive and play time a lot more, but instead he went for the takedown. But Poco, well, Tom had a lot of HP and close to super as well, so definitely in a good well, we've got a good chance now to come back just from that play alone. So Drage's gonna go really aggro. I'm consistently just looking to try and get the heal on him. I've got a splash as well, so I get a really Oh no, it wasn't actually this game. I don't think it was this game. I've got to say, I've got a double splash at one point. It was really, really satisfying, but I don't think it was now. We can see here, we're getting a lot of time on the zone right here. Drage is doing an amazing job of staying alive. You can see here, just constantly dashing in and out, and we're eventually going to come back and win the game. So that was just an insane comeback. I didn't want to ruin it at the beginning, but really we should have lost that one. I don't know how we regained control, especially on John Beatles, but able to take home the first, that round right there. So 3-0 currently. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, so now this is where things get spicy. Round number 4 up against Totem, literally one of our biggest competitors right now. So again, a do or die situation right here. We need to win, else we're going to be in a really uncomfortable position. So they ban Buzz and Ash, we ban Mortis and Ash, but literally every team just not taking the risk of Ash being in place. So you can see here, we're going for a bit of a wild combo. We know that Rose is so strong, and we know that Totem really like Max, and just like this combination, like Max and Sandy in general. I feel like they'll probably play it a little bit too much. I know the Totem guys like to watch these videos, but yeah, I feel like they're really easy to read in this sense. So we went for Primo to basically counter the Rosa and Sandy as well with a healer, and basically what our strategy was for this one, we kind of knew we were going this combination. So like with a Max, well basically you're going to be winning that Rosa matchup if you've got like a healer behind you, right? That's just kind of makes sense. If you're a solo Rosa constantly facing Poco heals and other healings of other forms, you're going to eventually lose that matchup over time. And like a Max just can't deal enough damage to take down 2 tanks as well. And then Primo, if he's going down a Rosa lane, especially with fire, he's going to be able to win that matchup. It's just going to be too much for them. So we're in a really good position here. We've got control of the grass. Sneaker Fields is a really tank dominant map. It doesn't really matter which meta it is. I feel like Rosa is just always meta on this map. It kind of surprised me, right? Because Sneaker Fields not been in the map pool for a long time, and like teams haven't had too long to kind of prepare for it. But just still, every single scrim, we're just seeing a lot of Rosa on this map. So Tom with a jump, he gets the chuck, and he scores right there. So really well-composed game from us, stuck completely to the plan. I managed to get star player somehow with Poco there. But yeah, that's going to be the first game right there. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, so going into the next game of Brawl. So we kind of had the feeling there'd go something anti-tank because of how strong tanks are. So both teams going for like the anti-tank combo now. So Max against B in mid. Max should really win that matchup for the most part. Drage able to get control there. They have a Max Sandy. I would say that definitely they have the better composition here. I would say that probably like 9 times out of 10 they should be winning this matchup. Like obviously ours is winnable, but just literally because of the max speeds, the Sandy, like the M's as well, like that synergy is so good. And especially if they get control of the middle with like an M super or a Sandy super, it's going to be really, really hard. And even if we like eventually win control back, they can easily get it back with that max speed and the double combination. So we've got to play this basically inch perfect right here. So Soy's going to run up. I feel like that was a bit of a dumb play from him. Definitely should have at least pre-fired the bush a little bit. I bet he thought he was like invincible. So kind of did a little bit of an unpredictable play, just ran into his face and caught him off guard. So they just get the ball in the corner, but they really need to be scoring before overtime, right? Basically, like B, that's just a rule. One of the big rule of Brawl is that B in overtime is just going to be collapse so many different combinations. It doesn't matter if you have a hard counter even in overtime. The only really brawlers that are going to outdo B are going to be like the other longer range brawlers, but you don't really see them, especially on this map. So yeah, I'm going to be switching lane here. So I'm trying to catch off Max off guard here. I know I'm really low in HP. I just need to try and get some mid-bush control here. So this is where things I thought were going to go really downhill. So they have this Sandy super, right? They have all control of the middle. Sandy, again, just destroys like Spike and a B, but that's a really good connection from Drage right there, and I'm able to help him take him down. So now it's a... Oh, pardon me. So I've just drank so much water today. I think it's maybe a bit a bit windy, but anyway, going into it. So we actually managed to get that takedown there. So Spike getting some good shots onto M's. We're going to try and switch matchups as much as possible to get Spike on the M's because Tom just really struggles against Sandy. I've got my super right here, so I'm going to go really aggro. I'm just going to basically shoot past Maru here to try and get some connection onto Max. I get the double kill here and just one more person left. But that was the theme for this game. It was so frustrating. I literally popped off in a few moments, winning my lane and taking down someone else as well. And then it was just always that one person just sitting there. So I don't actually score. right here, but another nice takedown right there. I get good damage onto Mario. I got my super as well, so looking really good. Beating overtime should be good enough, so I'm just going to push up here. Gets a stun on me, but I'm able to stay up. Sandy literally one shot, so we're in an amazing position here. We've got them all pinned back, got them all pretty low here, so the speed on the M's as well, but it's really hard to push into an M's with a speed, so I'm now close to super. I know I can survive that interaction with my super. I'm able to get another takedown, and we're able to win. So some amazing communication from us, just staying composed, making sure that we're getting the right matchups as much as possible. So we get the first round, well, we get the first set right there. Let's jump into the next one. All right, guys, so now going into Bounty Lake Cake. So Bounty Lake Cake, a bit of a weird one, another new map into the competitive map pool. Not seen this map for a while. So still kind of like getting used to what teams really go here. So they've gone with a triple range, which with Mortis and Buzz band. So they're normally like the combinations that people go on this map. Mortis and Buzz are like the two best assassins in this meta. So with those banned, I feel like they're probably looking at going like double throw or something. But they go for the triple range instead. So I'm going to get taken down there. So really poor play on my part. But yeah, Brock's going to be a good counter to my gadgets, but in the long term, Brock's going to be like really weak. Like literally all of three of those brawlers, it's probably except for Bell, are going to be pretty bad against Leon. So I get a takedown there, so I managed to recover 3-3 at the moment. So I'm just trying to be really sneaky on this Brock. I feel like they should try and switch matchups as quickly as possible. You want that Brock on the tick because he can destroy some of the tick's terrain. It doesn't really matter if my walls are broken because Leon's actually secretly really good at long range. You get a lot of damage with him. So Brock's going to be really low here. I don't want to go in and lose the lead. You'd rather stay alive in Bounty for the most part than get the kill. So definitely some really good counter aggression from myself, like knowing when to back off. So I try and sneak up here, but I know that even though I'm in Viz, and obviously like the players don't know where I am, they'll have people in their VC calling out where you are. So with Leon and just being unpredictable, you kind of got to do it fast, right? You've got like a 10-second margin or like a 15-second margin until like other people outside of the game can see it. So that's just a tip as well. Like I would have stayed there like the whole time if that wasn't a factor about it. So we've got the lead right here. They have to push into us. And Mario's doing a good job of pushing back so far. Again, with Leon, just got to be really unpredictable. I've only literally had, I think, like 2 or 3 days maximum practice with Leon. I have not played Leon at all since the new gadgets came out because Drage and Tom was always playing it. So it's a nice change. I really do like playing Leon. If you guys know, I just love playing Leon from like the beta days. But all of them know that I've got Invis, so they can't really go in here. Just literally me having Invis alone made him not being able to push up. So we're able to take home the first game of Bounty right there. So just one game away already from winning this whole series. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, so jumping into the next game of Layer Cake. So a bit unsure why they stuck with the same composition. Obviously, they believe that this comp could work, but whenever I've played in scrims against Brock, or yeah, I think it's mainly Brock on this map, it doesn't really matter what composition we get. It just really struggles on this map, and I can't really put a finger on it, but it's not really the best brawler on this map. Like he loses to like Mortis and Buzz, but obviously that's banned. He loses to Leon for the most part. He loses against Double Thrower. It's not really like in the best spot on this map, but for whatever reason, we do stick with that one. Like if I was a Sprout, I'd just be able to push up to a Brock straight away. So we do unfortunately get, well, we start off really bad. We don't get the mid start, and we think it's so. What am I saying? I'm just over talking around. I've had such a stressful day. It's just gonna have to excuse me if I go on some random tantrums throughout this video. So we got the kill on Soy Brezza. Not too sure why he kind of ran up there. Nearly choked the kill somehow, but we managed to get it regardless. So now we're only down the blue star, but Drage unfortunately goes down to the trap. So those bell traps are just really, really toxic, especially in the middle. It's near enough like a guaranteed kill if you're in position to get them down. So Drage goes down unfortunately again. Then especially if you've got the lead, you're gonna have to push into the bell traps. Bell's not really a brawler that's played too often in Bounty. Like she's played a fair bit, but yeah, as I was saying, like as long as you're chasing that lead, it can be really, really hard to get it back, especially in the latter of the game, because you're eventually going to run into those gadgets, right? So I've got my super here, trying to sneak up onto the piper. That's a good super back from Mario. They're both really weak here, but I don't really want to go in alone. I should have maybe gone in alone there, but I was just trying to stay alive. I know I got 3 stars. I got to try and give us the best chance of winning. So yeah, we do get taken down there. So unfortunately, not really the best game from ourselves. Didn't really do too much inside of that one. So I think looking back at this for the first time, Probably should have just gone in regardless. I had full HP. They were both really weak as well. Maybe I was able to get both of them. That would have been like the turnaround of that game. But they played really well inside of that one. So that's going to be the second game of Bounty. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so jumping into the third game of Bounty. So if we win this one, we win the whole series. God, my English is terrible today. Absolutely terrible. And obviously we want to be in that position. So we've got the Sprout versus Sprout matchup, and we have the Tick versus Brock. So in the late game, I'm straight away calling it out, but I'll preferably be on the Brock because I can free tap the Brock. I can get an easy kill on him. So straight away, I'll get my wall. He's got his wall as well. It's not really too much to talk about here. So going into late game, we know we can push them back, especially considering they've got a Brock. Brock just kind of gets folded by any pressure, really. So they got the wall on my lane. Drench gets a really nice kill on Mara, and that's super important on a map like Layer Cake, right? Especially when you got throwers, you can just be really defensive. So I called the switch with Tom. He can easily, well, we can much easier keep the lane against Sprout, and I know I can get some good taps onto Brock and kill him. So just like that, I get the kill straight away onto Brock. So an amazing lane switch from us. So looking really good. Basically, from the scoreline, we could tell that me and Tom can die. Well, like, not both at the same time, but obviously just one of us can die, but Drage can't die. So that's going to be the one that they're looking at, right? They only need to get one kill to take the win. So I'm going to be against Brock in the open. And to be honest, like, Brock is an easy brawler to dodge, especially if he doesn't have his rockets in the open. It can be really easy if you just literally, like, as I said, just open your eyes. If he doesn't save like 3 rockets to shoot at the same time, I doubt they're going to really hit too many shots. So he goes for the gadget there. Not too sure why he really did that. Probably for a little bit of pressure, but normally you want to use a gadget when someone is low, right? And especially against a brawler like Sprout with my shield, I can just tank that and just eat my gadget. I'm going to be just literally eating all the HP that is took off me. So Drage unfortunately gets caught in a bad moment because he did get a slow on Bell, but just watch the last 10 seconds because this is crazy. We get the kill on the Sprout there. We get back the lead. This is insane. I'll throw the wall on there to protect Tom. Else he would have probably died by the Bell. I tanked some shots from Brock and then I get the kill to secure it. So it was just absolute clutch from myself. Obviously everyone played well in the end, but I was just so hyped in that moment. Like, we literally got caught out there. Thought we were going to lose, and then Tom kept the Sprout back, stayed alive just. I got a kill on the Sprout as well. I blocked it off so he couldn't die by the Bell, and then we got a kill on Brock. It was just absolutely insane, just crazy ending to that one. So that's going to be that game right there. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so now heading off against Big. So currently we're 4-0, 2 more games left for today. So after this one as well, we'll have another round to go through. So as I was saying, up against Big. Big actually took down SK, which is just crazy because SK have literally only lost once in the qualifiers. Once out of 7 months of playing, they've lost once, and that was actually to us. So SK unbelievably, I'm gonna say inconsistent, man. Consistent and qualifiers, and Big took them down the round before. So obviously we knew that Big were looking for some fire in these qualifiers. So the bans were Brock and Ash on their side, and on our side, Bell and Ash. So we banned Bell just because we know that these guys are really comfortable with the long range brawler, especially Neen Dean, Equack, both really comfortable on the longer range. So we thought with Bell Bell was really good on Backyard Bowl and Hot Potato, which would have been the 3rd round. So I not really had the best of starts myself. Equack definitely kept me back for a long time, but we managed to stay alive. That's the most important thing, right? You just want to stay alive and keep the pressure. So not the best of starts down the left-hand lane. We only take a little bit off the right, so nothing ready to panic about. I've got 2 minutes to turn things around here. So get a stun on Equack. Tom gets the kill as well. So Sandy Super on this map with everything opened up is going to be scary, especially against a Ruffs and a Ticks. So I get the stun onto Neen Dean just so I can secure the kill there. It's going to allow Drage to push up and get some time on the zone, and it's just going to allow us to get so much pressure. So I'm just going to run up here. We've got the right hand zone, they're all on the left, so this is definitely where things went wrong from. They kind of just all went down one lane, which definitely not really the best thing to do, especially against a Sandy. You need to kind of split up, but Sandy low-key kind of cracked on this map. We didn't even play Sandy too much in the scrims, but just from looking at what they like to go, a lot of Tick and a lot, I think it was Edgar. I can't remember the other brawler, but Sandy a good counter to Edgar. Any aggressive brawlers on this map because you got the stun, and then obviously if you put like a wall break in the composition, you just gotta pop off. So I actually miss a shot on Neen Dean. Now I remember thinking, like, how did I just miss a shot on Neen Dean? I'm literally in his face. So I'm doing a good job here of getting a lot of pressure. Drage just staying alive here. We're just trying to buy as much time as possible. So 50 seconds left. All we need is 9 seconds on that left-hand zone. Drage with the beams right there. Tom with the kill. And we're able to secure the first game. So amazingly played from all of us right there. Really playing together as a team. Always, we're absolutely popping off. So that's going to be the first game right there. Let's hop into the second one. Right, guys, so now jumping into the second game of Splits. So we went for the more traditional composition. Most people on this map use Spike and Edgar because Spike is a really good pick against Surge and Edgar, especially with the Cactus can be really good against Surge and then just deals a lot of damage up close against the Edgar. So that's why we've gone for this one. Tom with a bit of a weird TP gets taken down in the end, but Drage has a really easy matchup with Ruffs here. So I feel like we should have probably maybe just sent 1 down the Spike lane and then 2 down the other lane, but at the minute, Nidin actually gets a really good gadget there. Unfortunately, gets the 3k off onto Tom to take him down, but me and Drage are doing a good job so far. I mean, Tom's got good pressure so far. It's not the end of the world and not really panicking at the moment, so able to take down the B. Drage gets his super again. He's able to take down Loz. We'll get him really, really weak here. I'm going to try and get a finishing blow onto Equap, but we've got so much control here. So, like I said, it didn't even matter that Tom, once again, his upgrades were still popping it off. He gets the kill onto Equap, so much pressure on our side. We've got so much percentage on the left. I'm just going to take down that gadget with my super there. I don't know if it was like necessary really because Drage has super, but I just did it for good measure anyway. So Drage again got to go on the Ruffs. It's such an easy kill for Edgar on the Ruffs. It's near enough impossible as a Ruff to take down that Edgar. Unless you've got super, you're still probably going to get taken down against that Edgar. So Drage doing really well to stay alive there. I'm going to take down, well, Equat's going to be 1 shot there. Nearly got the double kill while looking for the double kill just for the clips, and we managed to take home the first set right there. So pretty convincing wins from us, to be honest. Let's hop into the next set. Alright guys, so going into the next set, we have Backyard Bowls. So I don't think we've really had a single scrim with Bell banned on this map, but just from knowing the interactions and knowing what brawlers are going to be likely to come out when Bell is banned, you kind of know that you can go 8-bit, right? You can go to 8-bit strategies. There's not really a lot of mids here. We're kind of really thinking the only 3 mids he can go on this actually, there's probably 4, right? There's probably 8-bit. There's Piper. We thought Piper was going to be the main one from them, so going like Byron 8-bit, really good counter to the Piper. You can go max mid on this map without Bell in play. There's just like a lot of room for possibility with Bell banned, right? Normally on this map, you've got to put Bell in every single composition near enough because she's that strong, and then it's normally what other brawlers go around it. So we got a Byron, 8-bit, really good combination together. And then we got the Leon as well. Leon's just a really solid brawler on his own, and especially just good against everything, right? He's good against control comps. He's pretty good against aggro, and he's even better against the longer range brawlers. So we managed to get the first goal right there. Really well played from us. So the matchups that we're wanting here, we want me on the Buzz because I can chip him down at a distance, and then Tom on the Mortars. So Equat gets a nice kill on myself, nearly gets the chain onto everyone, actually stays alive, so he's playing really, really well on this Mortis. Tom does an amazing job to get the ball away, and I have no idea how we managed to actually survive this one, so really well played from ourselves there. You probably heard my mum shout at me for dinner, so this is how like untimely I've got, well, how little time I've got really to put together all these things. So tonight we'll probably rest, but anyways, going into this game, so getting some taps onto Lars here. Equat gets taken down. It's going to be really hard for these guys to do too much, considering we've got an 8-bit Byron and a Leon. They need to really go in together, and if they can make it work, if like a Buzz goes in, gets a stun, and then Mortis comes in and cleans it up. That's normally how the aggressive combos go on this map, but we're just playing it extremely well at the moment, so we're just going to walk it in. There's no way that Drage is going to get taken down with me healing behind him. They've got no stun mechanic, nothing to really get the ball out of his hands, so we're able to take home that game right there. Let's jump into the next game. Alright guys, going into the next game of Brawl. So currently on match point, we're just playing flawlessly today. Really good synergy from ourselves and just really knowing the meta really well. So we went with the Pam pick again. You can't really go Pam when Bell's in play. No Bell in play, so Pam's going to be a really solid option. So we went for Leon with myself, Max in the middle. So here we're just calling. We can play it really passive. We don't want to feed these guys supers. We're just going to wait for Max to get supers. So you're going to see a really boring start here. I'm just trying to trickle my super down here. And again, like, we're going to be benefiting off playing passive, so it's kind of down to them to really make a play or be really aggressive. Maybe if I was like Equac, was probably trying to push around the side, or like Nindine trying to push around the side. Like, they've got to make something happen, right? We're not feeding that 8-bit turret. We're not feeding Leon Super. We're not feeding the Baron Splash. So yeah, so far so good from us. So I believe Drage is pretty close to it. He's trying to get the little bit of the super left against that 8-bit. So it took a long while. It took nearly a minute to get that super without doing anything, which is a considerably a long time. So we're just going to run up against Nindin here. We know we can take him down really fast. Leon's like assassin capability. I actually waste my super there, but just how quickly he kills at medium range is actually crazy. I'll say this all the time, like Leon is just insane. Normally we ban it, or like a really strong ban for us and a lot of different teams, and you see why here. It's just so dominant. Luckily, like Pam is a decent counter to Leon, mainly because of that gadget. Like if Leon goes aggro against a Pam, if Pam has turret, if Pam has gadget, Leon can't really do too much. So we take down the Indian there as well. Nice super from Dredge. I'm just going to pass the ball up. I think this was a little bit rushed from us. I don't think we managed to get the goal. Maybe if I was able to sneak around a corner, stay alive, and tank literally like one piece of ammo from Leon, we would have scored there. But unfortunate. So 50 seconds left. Things are actually looking quite scary for us. They've got us in a spawn trap. We really haven't got anything to break us out. I think the only thing really that can break us out, if maybe I get a kill and I get my super, which I do there. My teammate's doing really well to stay alive. But yeah, normally the Pam turret's a really good breakout because you can throw it behind the wall and get him out with that damage style power. Dredge did an amazing job to get his super and take down the Leon there. Nindin kind of caught in no man's land there. Loz pushing back. I'm not too sure why they really pushed back there, because they needed that goal. They should have just went all in for it, because it was do or die there. So yeah, really unsure why he went back to keep control. But I've got my super one shot away from it, so I'm going to call for it. I'm going to walk it in and score. So some really amazing team play again from us. Let's hop into the next series. Alright guys, so going into our 6th and final round of the day, facing off against Esport Empire. So definitely a really good team. They were also 5-0. We could have faced either Clash or Craze Clan and Team Activium, I believe, but we faced off against Esport Empire. So we faced these a few times in qualifiers before and always done fairly well against them. So the bans were Baron, Ash, and I'm trying to think what we actually banned on our side. We didn't ban Leon this time around. I'm trying to think in my head what I banned. It will come to me pretty soon, but I think it was more. Oh yeah, it was Mortis. It was definitely Mortis, because Mortis is so strong on Hard Rock Mine right now. So both teams going with the mirror composition right here, really inside of Hard Rock. At the odd time you get the, well, when Mortis is in play, you always kind of get aggro comps. When Mortis is not in play, you kind of get like the Rico Bells or the Pipers, or like the Ruffs lane as well, Sprout lane, and all that good stuff. So yeah, both teams gone for the mirror. Leon just insane as meta as always. So I don't think I played this map too much as Leon, but for me, I'll always say the best way to be Leon is you just got to be so unpredictable, right? You've got your gadget to be invisible. You've got like ways you can sneak into grass undetected. It's always about trying to keep the enemy off guard. So you see a lot of times I'll probably like roam into like Tom's lane. I'll like roam into mid. I'll do all these different things, and it will always be like a guarantee like way to win the game. So I know that Leon is invisible here. I managed to predict him coming into the grass. I get my super from it here, so I'm just going to push up, and you'll see here this is an absolutely crazy play. So we get the kill onto Leon, we get the kill onto Rico here, and then we get the kill onto Bell, and then we get the kill onto Leon again. I think no Dredge actually gets that kill, and we managed to get out with all the gems, which is just an absolutely insane play. I was absolutely thrilled with that play. Obviously in my head I envisioned it going like that, and it actually happened. That doesn't happen too much in Brawl Stars. Like you kind of plan, like you're going to sneak in this bush undetected and, you know, kill the enemies, but more than likely not, you do get taken down. So we do get double pieced by how to win there. It's kind of hard when a Rico is pushing up in your spawn to really do too much, especially if you're trying to hang on for like the last few seconds. So they're going to get the kills there, but it's going to be really hard for them to actually get the gems out of spawn. So as long as like someone stayed alive, I think I can't remember who got the kills there. I think Tom actually got the kills on the others. So it was only like Rico left. Tom was still up, and they weren't able to get their gems out. So like really well played from us in the end, and we managed to clutch up. So really good Leon play right there, managing to get the gem grab. Let's hop into the next game. All right guys, jumping into the second game of Hard Rock Mine. And so we kept with the same composition. I think the only brawler we really wanted to switch out was like maybe the Leon or the Rico for a Ruffs. Like that composition is really strong, but kept with the Leon here. Normally kind of want to switch things up against teams that, like, no offense to Esports Empire, like I think it's pretty obvious to say like we're the stronger team on paper. It obviously never really correlates into how it plays out in game, because you can literally lose against anyone in Brawl Stars. But like what I'm saying is that they'll try and more often than not out comp us or try and counter us. So we've got to really stay fresh on our toes, and that was one thing we really struggled with, right? Like the teams we should be beating, beforehand. We just used to always just play like the meta compositions and always just get stuck being countered, so that's one thing we definitely switched out. So I'm just waiting for the Sprout to get out of position. I'm constantly changing the way, whether I go down the left hand side, whether I go through the mid. Tom is popping off right here on the Rico, getting some really good aggression, getting the kill there. You know, he's doing his thing over there. So again, I've still not got my super, but I'm just basically playing my life, not allowing Sprout to push up. Drage and Tom doing an amazing job again. And Tom gets another kill on the Rico. Like, Tom is absolutely cracked this game. He's destroying everyone on lane. I finally get my super, and here I'll just go into the spawn, knowing that literally all three of the brawlers cannot kill me in close proximity. So I'm going to wait for the Sprout to respawn here. Just going to get a kill on him. Nearly cycle my super again. So now only the Rico left alive. We're in their base, and it's exactly how they didn't want it to plan out. So we're going to pinch this Rico down. We know how we have to get him out ASAP. Tom's going to get the kill there. I've got my invisibility, and it's just nothing that these guys are going to be able to do. So we're playing absolutely flawlessly today. Everyone had their A game. None of us making the mistakes that sometimes do happen, especially when so much is on the line. So that's going to be the first set right there. Let's hop into the next set. All right, guys, so heading into the next set, Factory Rush. So from the get-go, this really is a weak map for us. It's probably one of the worst maps in the game for us. In scrims, just getting completely wrecked. And what we kind of figured out is that Rico, although like when we first started practicing on it with, I think it was like the start of last week or something, we like realized at the start that Rico wasn't that strong in the late game. But for us, like the pressure is always on getting the first round. Like, we've seen a really common trend on this map. I would like to see the numbers behind it, especially in scrims and tournaments. But I feel like whoever gets the first round on Factory Rush in particular is like always want to be winning the game. So Rico's really good for that first bolt. Normally, like Mortis, but we banned Mortis, is good for that first one. But Rico's really good because not only can he hold lane at a distance, but he's got the gadget to push up and collect the bolt as well. So I'm getting really, really low here. I'm going to heal up again. He's actually doing really well how to win on getting his lane. Luckily, Drage is going over to me to help and win that one. So we pick Brock as well because Brock is going to be really good for damage. You've got a wall break option there. So I feel like wall break is really, really strong on Factory Rush as well. There's not really much to defend on this map, but just being able to get the damage, especially with a brawler like Brock, is just a really, really critical. Because normally you get like Bell on defense. Bell's got a super on the boss. They're going to get easy defense. So we know we've got to go for like a wall break or maybe even a thrower here. So also, I didn't really talk about the Stu pick. I've seen Stu a little bit on this map. But if you're playing really careful and not feeding him super, it's not really the best pick. So Drage doing a good job. Well, actually, they'll eventually feed him super. But they're working to try and get him out as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, Drage does go down there. I thought they actually took down the Stu. So in this position, it's not looking really the best for us, right? Because Drage is down. They've got quite a lot of control, but we kind of flop our super right there, but we've got the bolt, so that's all we need. So straight away I call out that there's going to be 3 bolts in the middle. So here I don't really care about my lane too much. I'm just going to try and help Drage as much as possible collect these 3 bolts, which he's doing amazingly well at doing. So they collect that one, but I think they actually get the kill on Kevin there, which is really, really crucial. Rico's really low there, so they definitely needed one of those bolts to level it up. So just really clutch plays from Drage and Tom. Good bolt management, something that we're not really the best at in Siege, and especially in Factory Rush, but as seen here, definitely a lot of improvements. So this is going to be a match point for us in the next one. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, jumping into the second game of Factory Rush. So if we win this one, we win the whole series, and we end the day 6-0. So incredibly important. We remain focused and try and close this thing out. You never want to get complacent in Brawl Stars. Always with this game, you can literally lose to anyone. So we're about to get this first one here. So Rico gadgets, but we get some nice shots onto him. So now we're just about delaying it. Wait until around 7 or 6 seconds, and that makes it enough time to guarantee the round no matter what. That's a good tip for Siege. I think I've said it a few times anyway, but for the most part on maps that are longer range, so like normally a Factory Rush is the most, or the biggest one like it. So for example, if you win like you're laying down a right and like the left is struggling, you can just hold that bolt and then obviously wait for like 5-6 seconds. It doesn't allow enough time for the bolt to spawn on the other side, and you can basically secure yourself the round. So that's just a quick tip. I probably explained that before, but that was just a thinking there, because at first it's just so important, right? So you need to make those type of plays to win the game. So I've got my wall here. This is a really bad wall. I threw it a little bit too much to the left. What I was trying to do basically is just connect the wall from that one to the right one. So just making it so the Bell hasn't got too much room to actually move, which would have actually helped Drage, but instead I actually block his gadget, which was funny enough. So we're doing a good job against Max. I got Max on Sprout here. You'd think that this matchup should be pretty easy for him, but we're doing a good job holding it off. So he's going to heal up here. I just don't want to die here. That's the main thing for me. they're going to go and try and contest that bolt. I don't know. I don't think we actually kill the Max. Yeah, he gets out with his life and the bolt, which isn't the end of the day, right? It's still 3-3 in bolts, and we're looking really, really good. So Dredge opens the walls up. I don't really think he needed to do that, considering, well, like we're already in the lead, but, you know, it's not really going to use the super for anything else. We get the wall onto Max, and now Max can only go down one avenue. We've also got transplants, so again, he's not really going to be doing too much. That wall, again, it kind of failed. I don't think I need to actually learn that spot, because obviously I can't really do it at the moment, but that's always one trick with Sprout. I always learn like what exact tile to place my walls in, to do certain walls, to try and block off as much space as possible. But we end up winning in the end, so it didn't really matter. I'm just blabbering on at this point because I'm just extremely tired, but we're able to finish it off with a win right there. So I don't really... Well, I may as well just let it play out and see who gets top player at the end. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Really long one. I'm extremely exhausted, but tomorrow the job isn't done today. We're 6-0 at the moment. There are two other teams that are 6-0 as well, which are Team Activium and Clash. But judging off the set win percentage, we have the biggest. So it's very, very likely, I think, judging off the other months, that Team Activium and Clash should face off. I think 99.9% sure that they do, and we should face off against the worst set win rate of the teams that are 5-1. If that all makes sense, right? I think in my head that makes sense. I hope that correlates to you guys. But basically, we're like the only team that can't face off against another 6-0. So we've got to face someone with the worst record. That's how Swiss format works. So hopefully we can close it off tomorrow. We just need one win. We literally need one win out of two. We need to finish 7-1 to qualify for Worlds. So I'm hoping tomorrow I'll have a huge smile on my face after all the work we've put in. It's been absolutely insane to see like the comeback and how strong we are now. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.